Hey guys, welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect. Today we are going to be setting up the Elven portal and getting ourselves into some really nice snazzy pink armor. So I hope you guys are ready. Today it's going to be sort of my goal to get ourselves even further in Botanica and potentially have ourselves an Elven portal. That's going to be something that I want to strive for. So to do that, some things we're going to need, of course, is our mana system. The way it is right now is working mighty fine. It's working really good. This setup, I think, will get us to the point of that. Now, we will, however, need to start working on other things. We're going to need a little bit of living wood, and we're probably going to need some petals and some other things like that. So to get started with even thinking about this, we need to start looking at some other things that Botanica, some other crafting ways, or some other crafting mechanics that Botanica offers, which is the Runic altar. The Runic altar is going to be very slow at first. Later on, we'll be able to speed it up. But as you can see, it requires a mana diamond and some living rocks. So that's not too difficult, right? We just need to get a diamond, right? And just turn it. So this is pretty simple. We're also going to need, while we're in here, well, we'll have to grab some petals as well. Eventually, I want to get a controller so I can just access this from anywhere. I think we'll eventually do that. Let's go ahead and get Botanica, and then we're going to need a mana spreader. This is how we're going to get mana to our altar once we make it, right? Also, getting a crafting table would probably be a nice thing to have out here. So let's just go ahead and make a regular crafting table. If I can remember how to make a crafting table. Wow, I've not been out of this for very long. Come on now, Chosen, get into the game. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and make this. Let's convert this, drop it in here, and that will get us exactly what we need. Bam, a Runic altar. Now I'm gonna place the Runic altar just right here, and what I'm going to do is use a mana spreader to connect it to the Runic altar. Of course, by shift right clicking to connect it. It is getting pretty dark, but that's okay. We'll end up fixing that. So we have to come up with some recipes, right? This Runic altar is going to be our progression into getting an Elven portal up. So if we go back into Botanica, there is a tool or a platform that we are going to need to make, and it's called a Terrasteel agglomeration plate. I know, it's a mouthful. It's going to require a little bit of lapis, but it's going to require all of the runes, all of your base tier runes, which is a rune of mana, a rune of water, earth, fire, and air. All of these require their own particular crafting recipes and a couple of different items. As you can see, this requires a fishing rod, sugarcane, and bone meal. So I'm going to show you how to make this. So we need a few more things than that, though, as well. You can make mana powder with redstone, and I think for us that's going to be probably the best way to do it, is to go by doing that. So let's take a look at runes. Are you in? So here we go. Our runes. I kind of like to build these in my inventory, and we'll also need some iron as well. So let's take a little bit of iron and such. And yes, I want to sort of start working on building these in my inventory here. And I'll start building the rune recipes. So like for that base recipe for the Terrasteel agglomeration plate, AGG, we'll save it over here. This rune right here requires a fishing rod, sugarcane, and bone meal. So bone meal. We can even move this over here. Bone meal, sugarcane, and a fishing rod. Of course, so we're gonna have to make one of those. And then we're also gonna need this dust and a piece of iron. So this will be turned into mana powder, and we'll also have a piece of Terrasteel. Or not Terrasteel, sorry. Mana steel. So this will be the whole recipe setup for everything. And I'm gonna move on to the earth, which is gonna require a mushroom, a piece of coal block, and polished, or I guess any stone. This is gonna be stone. And I mean, it's as simple as just setting these things up, right? Like a mushroom. We totally have a mushroom. And coal. We might have to make that block because I think I've unblockified everything. But there we go. And there's the setup for our next room. So I'm going to end up getting the rest of these. One requires a nether wart, nether brick, and gunpowder. The other one requires string, a feather, and some carpet, all of which is pretty easy. And then one that requires a mana pearl and 5 mana steel. And that's about it. And once we have all those, we are getting really close to making our first piece of Terrasteel. I know that sounds crazy that we can progress this fast through Botanica, but once you have about a full mana pool's worth of once you have a full mana pool's worth of mana, you can pretty much make or get yourself into or open up the portal of Alfheim. It's pretty easy. So once we get all of the things together, we're almost done. We're almost ready to get this started, because we do need to get our living rock. And that is basically going to be our catalyst. Pretty much the same as using, it's going to be the same as using a seed on here. It is how you're going to be able to fully craft these things. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with this. We have our sugarcane fishing rod. We place that in here. Also need 1 mana powder and a mana steel. And voila. And you can see while we're looking at it, there's a little bar over to the right hand side that's showing how much mana is actually going into this and how much time we have left, basically. And then once all is said and done, this is how you're going to finish this up. This is done. It is ready to be finished. You can just right click a piece of living rock on the center or throw it on there and then hit it with a wand. And then voila, you get yourself the Rune of Water. And we're going to do this for each individual rune. Yeah, that's pretty much all you have to do. It's very, very simple. And yeah, I mean, you can get through this pretty quickly. All we got to do is get our last rune here. Toss on the rock. There we go. And we have ourselves a Rune of Mana. Now we'll have to make a later, another Rune of Mana later on, because this recipe actually consumes all of this. So lapis blocks. How much lapis do we have? And do we have it in block form? Oh yeah, we do have it in block form. Perfect. So all we need is some iron. Oh, we already have it on our inventory. So let's convert this all over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Voila. By the way, our mana pool is full. Absolutely insane. That setup is super quick, by the way, at generating mana. I mean, it didn't take any time at all. So let's turn the rest of this over. Block of mana steel. Oh, please tell me that this is not a broken recipe. It is, because this block of mana steel is not this block of mana steel. I'm going to see if I can't do it this way. All right. Let's try and do it through Botanica, and let's hope that I don't have to do some kind of magic to fix this bug, this crafting recipe issue. Okay, so this is the normal block. This one should work. Oh boy, I was gonna be like, oh no, but that other way should hopefully be fixed. It should work. So we have this right here. We're also gonna need lapis. Let's grab a little bit of lapis, and we'll have our agglomeration plate. Here in a minute, we're gonna have to craft a few other things. Let's go ahead and grab some gold nuggets. Right, we'll grab some gold nuggets, and we're also gonna need some blaze. And we should be good, because I think, let's take a look at the recipe. Botanica sparks. How expensive are you? Okay, you're pretty cheap still. Okay, so we're gonna have to make some sparks, but I mean, as of right now, we're pretty much right where we need to be. I am going to remove this, because this is where we're actually going to place our agglomeration plate. And the funny thing is, the agglomeration plate goes right on top of a block of living rock. So let's go ahead and see if I remember the recipe for this. I'm pretty sure I do. So it's a block of living rock in the middle, lapis on the sides, right? Lapis on the sides and living rock on the outside. And this is an agglomeration plate that is complete. All it needs is some sparks. So to make sparks, it's just like this. And we only need 2 for right now. Perfect. And then what you do with your sparks is you're going to place your spark on top of your mana pool and on top of the agglomeration plate. The reason you want to do this is because this is going to be the fastest way to transfer mana from your mana pool to your agglomeration plate, which is going to need mana. So let's go ahead and sleep, and then we're going to start, we're going to make our first Terrasteel. So to make Terrasteel, it's pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead and turn this into a mana diamond and a mana pearl. And we're also going to need a little bit of mana steel. Now you see we have a full mana pool. When we craft this here, and make our first piece of Terrasteel, it is going to consume an entire mana pool, or not an entire mana pool, a half of the mana pool. While doing this, I think it's a half a mana pool. Yes. Or it's a quarter. No, it's a half. And we're going to find out anyways. Let's go ahead and place this. You can just right click this onto the center, and thus we'll start the process of creating Terrasteel. And you're going to see our mana pool going down a lot. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it is half a mana pool to do this. And you're going to get these beautiful particle effects. Perfect time to cap that screenshot. You know how it goes. Got to get that beautiful screenshot. And Terrasteel. Now you can see, I think, yeah, half a mana pool to get a piece of Terrasteel. Now this one piece of Terrasteel is going to be enough. We're going to be able to break it down into Terrasteel nuggets. And the Terrasteel nuggets are what we're going to use to create ourselves the new setup that we're going to use for our, I guess for our giant portal that we can't actually go through. But it is still a portal. But we do need to figure out our setup. I think I'm going to place it right here on the edge of this. And we're gonna, or maybe one more back where this flower's at, and we're gonna pretty much we're gonna allocate one of these mana spreaders into 2 other mana spreaders. We're gonna, you're gonna kind of see whenever I get to work on this. So one of the things we're gonna need is going to be glimmering living wood. And I think we need 3 of these. The rest is going to be regular living wood. Take a look. We're also gonna need the portal. I don't think it's called portal though. We can take a look and see what this nugget is used for. It's this right here, the Elven Gateway Core. This will use 3 of them, right? And the rest is just going to be living wood that we're going to need to build our portal. The rest of this Terrasteel is going to go towards pylons. Right, so we're going to need the 2 Natura pylons for this to work. And then as you can see, it also needs mana pylons. So 2 mana diamonds. I think that's about it. And some mana steel. And that's all we need. And then a couple of Eyes of Ender. And we should be ready to rock and roll. Let's take a look at our iron situation. We need a little bit of that. And while this is still generating, what we're going to do is we're going to actually allocate a little bit of this mana pool using our mana tablet. And we're going to add it to 2 more mana pools that are going to be separate, that are going to be used specifically for our gateway here. Now the gateway is going to go right here. And this is sort of how the portal is going to be built. I tend to like to build it up like this. And that's about halfway done. Of course, this block here gets moved and goes up top. The gliding is so difficult. Goes right here. And then, of course, we have another on the top. And that's going to complete this whole thing. All we got to do is just grab the rest of the blocks that we need. By the way, wasn't that 2 mana diamonds I needed to convert? There we go. And then we can get the rest of this crafting finished. Right, so the 2 mana diamonds are going to be for our pylons. So we should be able to make that. And then that. And then this. And last but not least, our other Natura pylon. And then the living wood that we need to finish the rest of the build. We're also going to need some mana pools. Just 2 of them. These are for our Natura pylons to set on. Let's take this over here. I like to place my mana pools right here. And then the Natura pylons will go on top. I want to put mana in them first before we finish that. But let me go ahead and get this situated. Of course, we put our glimmering up there. And this is pretty much how it's been built forever. You can put whatever you want on the corners, but just remember that this is how the structure should look when you're done. And it doesn't have to be right up next to the agglomeration plate. You do need your mana pools close. I don't know exactly the distance, but it does tell you in your book kind of where they need to go. So let's go ahead and get our mana tablets, which I think is stored away in here. We'll show you how to use that. And that's what we're going to be using to sort of allocate some mana elsewhere. So on this, you can see we have two different modes. We have transferring mana from tablet to the mana pool, or from the mana pool to the tablet. If we throw this in here, you can see it sort of draining. And we're going to want it to drain. We're pretty much going to want a full mana tablet, I believe, which will be close to half a mana pool. I think it holds something crazy like that. Because we're going to need at least an eighth of the mana pool to open that portal. There we go. And I think we're out of coal. That's all right. So these we should be able to transfer some mana into. And I want about a quarter in each. There we go. And this one I will go ahead and let completely fill. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this mana spreader here, and I'm going to situate it so it's going towards these pools whenever this goes back to its normal work mode. Now, the thing that we don't really have to worry about too much is once this is open, it stays open. It does use a good amount of mana to open it, but once it is open, it no longer consumes mana, which is great, right? But whenever you do craft things in here, that is when it will start to consume mana. Now I'm going to place my pylons on top, just like that. And then all we have to do is hit the middle with the wand. It should consume a good amount of mana, like I said, to open it. I think it's an eighth of a mana pool or something like that. You can see it consumed it right there. And then over here as well. But once it's open, it's open. If you close it, then to reopen it again will require that mana. But while it's open, and you can just do your crafts. Now, like I said, your crafts are going to require mana, so you are going to want to make sure some mana is being sent to it, and you want to work on filling those mana pools, of course. All right, let's just take a moment here and just think about this for a second. This guy is offering a beacon for 20 emeralds. A beacon, guys, like for 20 emeralds. I can get emeralds for rotten flesh. Like, remember that. Like, it's something that I can literally just do. Also I can get it for gold and other things like that. Like, I'm serious. Like, what? This guy is straight up trading a beacon that I didn't even have to work for. It's hilarious. I mean, let's trade this beacon. Like, okay, we have effects now. Awesome. So now that we have this big old green boy up and running, like, what are we gonna do with it? Well, make the best looking pink armor, of course. That's exactly what we're gonna do with it. So we're gonna need some iron, right? And of course, a full set of iron armor is 27. Isn't that correct? 27 pieces of iron? I believe so. The only way to test is to make it all right here, correct? Like a full set. I think that's a full set of everything. No, that's totally not. Anyways, we're gonna need double this, so we're gonna need elementium anyway, so I'm gonna go with a whole stack here. So yeah, we have some leftovers, but what we're gonna do with this is we're gonna turn this into Terrasteel. Of course, it takes a little bit of time. It only likes to do 16 at a time, but if you just let it sit there it spews out blue stuff like it's someone's birthday. There we go, and we're almost there. 16 more. You've got these cool little particle effects that happen while doing that. And then what we want to do is chuck these in here. Now, the recipe that we're going for is this Elven trade, which is going to be 2 mana steel for 1. Now, there is something else you want to toss in here probably first, and that is your Lexica Botania. So once you toss your Lexica Botania in here, it's going to spit back out a brand new Lexica Botania that's going to have some new chapters added to it. That we probably won't really notice because we've been progressing through here, but I'm sure it's something to do with Terrasteel. Normally it has something to do with an Elven portal. But I'm sure it's going to be in here somewhere. But anyways, other than that, let's toss all of the mana steel and hope we have enough mana, which we totally should, to convert this over. And yeah, we can just stand here and receive our trade back, which is going to be 32 of these bad boys. And what are we going to do with that? Well, we're going to make ourselves some beautiful pink armor, of course. Because you just got to. You just got to. It's so good. This is probably one of my favorite armors. Favorite armors ever. I love it so much. Throw it on, and there we are. Super, super cool. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, don't forget to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also ring that notification bell so you can stay notified when I publish new videos. Guys, I really do appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video, and as always, thanks for watching.